Hello, how's it going? Right, so you're going to be here for the duration. We're going to be doing some unwrapping. It's going to take a while, just so that you know. Okay, what I've done is, this is our low polygon model, obviously. I've hidden the high polygon model, and I've kept only the parts that need to be individually textured, well, unwrapped at the moment, because then I can just mirror them later. So, you can see them here, yep. And what I'm going to do is start unwrapping all of this. Right, so with everything all hidden, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer, and my new layer is going to contain all this stuff here, and it's called low poly. As you can see, I've already done this. Yeah. Right. Now, first thing I need to do, convertible poly, make sure it's all converted down, is I'm going to do an unwrap UVW map, and just do a standard box on everything. That'll apply us a basic map to everything. Okay. Now I'm going to, with everything selected, do a unwrap UVW. Next, I'm going to go over here to customize, and I'm going to go to my viewport configuration. And over here, I want layout, and I'm going to set it up here, split. Yeah. This one's going to be perspective, and this one doesn't really matter what the hell it is, to be honest. So I'll just click OK. Now, click here. I'm going to drag this to around about there. Don't worry, there's a reason. And this one I'm going to drag off so there's absolutely nothing on screen, so there you go, top. Let's shift it over to there. Reason being that I want to have my editor for all my lovely UVWs just sitting over here in this window. And because I want to have as much space on my screen as possible, obviously if you're using dual monitors and not recording, you'll probably find this a tiny bit easier. There we go. I don't need to see the animation timeline either. Right, so this horrible mess here is our unwrap. Okay, so if we apply a texture underneath this, you know, whatever the hell texture you want, say this square, okay, that is how it's being mapped to this, and it's a god-awful mess. What I'm going to do is select face. Now, that allows me to select individual faces on my model, and because I've got everything selected as a group, all 18 objects, yeah, for example, if I select here, you can see that's where this polygon is at the moment. Right, so that's pretty useless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by unwrapping everything, and I'm going to go to normal mapping, and I'm going to use back front mapping at first. Just click OK, and as you can see, it does that. It separates everything off. Now obviously I didn't get every single face. I'll do a Control Z, Control A, make sure I select everything, then I'll do that again. Normal, back front mapping, there. And it's separated everything down into these areas. Now, if that was going to be the end of the unwrapping, then we'd all be modelling geniuses and, you know, we'd all live in big houses and be happy. That isn't the end of it. So with these all selected again, normal mapping, just because I'm breaking this down into little bits at the minute, I'm going to do some box mapping. That'll break them into a whole horde of tiny pieces, yeah, like that. Right, so with that done, I'll now close my unwrap UVW, and I'm going to go down to the toe, because this is the first area we're going to start with. And let's just disable this view. I don't want it moving around or anything. There we go. Right, so with this toe selected, I'm going to go down here again to my edit, and you'll see now we've only got the parts of this toe, okay, actually visible here. Now I'm just going to isolate this little part here if I can. There we go. And I'll just move my isolation selection window up top. Okay, and we get to kind of get going straight away. So, open this up, edit, here's all the pieces. As you see, I've selected a side toe this time rather than the top toe. Don't worry about it. Right, so now, these thick lines you can see here are seams. This is where 3dsmax has kind of automatically calculated where it thinks things should be. 3dsmax is not very good at this kind of thing though, so don't worry about it. What we're going to do, go to face mode and just start automatically selecting edges that we want. And if you look, that box kind of grows over what we're selecting, and we're using that box to allow us kind of planar map these pieces, yeah? Okay, so with this piece here, mapping, we can flatten this mapping here. And as you see, if we do that, we've got this mass here, yeah? Filled out the entire box. Now what I need to do is take these parts and just break them off. Bring them down here, and we can start kind of putting them together the way we want. So I'll just bring this over to here. As you can see, it's a bit like putting a jigsaw back together with these things, yeah? So let's have a look at this. Just turn off that background so I can see better. So we can see that this is going to fit inside here. We've just got to kind of work out which piece goes where. So let's go into vertex. And the edge. There, you can see that edge is that one there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is rotate this. Just grab my rotate tool. Okay, and I'm going to move this down into here. And what I'm going to do is start welding it into place. Alright? So, if I go into vert mode again, tools, target weld, start welding these pieces into the right area. Like so. And I'm going to straighten up these edge verts here because they're a little bit all over the place. So if I select all these edge verts, just like so, and just go into this, I won't do that again, just go into this scale mode here. You'll notice it's only scaling on one axis. I can straighten these out. There we go. Right, now what I want to do is have this part here and this top part here come off. So let's find the top part. So I'll go into face. It looks like it's a single object. Yep, there it is there. So I'll just use my move tool. And as you see, it's got some edge parts, so we're going to need to break those. So tools, break. Right. What I need to do now is kind of match these pieces up to the pieces down there. So I'm trying to make it logistical in the way that we do this stuff. You can see how these are going to weld together. So I want to get them as close as possible to each other. There we go. Now we can target weld it. And the trick is to try and lose as many seams as possible, because seams we don't want when we come to normal mapping. I mean, obviously we're going to have some seams, but the less we have, the happier it will be. So you'll notice at the right there, as we sew this together, our seams are slowly vanishing. Now we've got a face here, which isn't included in these, so let's undo that part and find out what's happened to that face. There it is, and it's over here, look. So I'm going to bring it down. And yes, it is fiddly, it's just one of those things. Okay, let's flip it over. Right, now I've got to check, make sure that we've got the right one at the top. Oops, that's vertex, not edge. Yep, that's the correct one for the top. So what I can do is just weld these into place, just using target weld. One to there. Watch as that seam vanishes. There we go. See, the seam is going. Now I'm going to just straighten this piece up here. Just use the move tool. There we are. Right, next. Lots of parts make up this. I mean, this is one of the slightly more complicated pieces, I suppose. We're going to do this edge next. Go to face mode. And get all these parts around the edge here. There we are. Now if we look, we've got bits all over the place, so I'm going to go to Tools, Break, bring these down. Okay, let's find out what piece this is. That appears to be this top part here. Just turn off the pelt seam. So, that's going to go between these two, by the looks of things. So what I'm going to do is turn this over. Just like so. Bring this over to there. Now I'm going to grab this one, bring it over to here so I can get nice and close and have a look at it. Right, edge mode, look at this edge here and see where it lines up over there. That's this one. Alright, so what I'm going to do is rotate it. And I'm going to move this to about here. And then go into vert mode. I just moved this one and I think I need to move it back a bit. There we are. Right, Control T for target weld. Is it Control T or is it Shift T? Control T. It just likes making a donk noise for some reason. I'll just have to select it manually. Okay, you'll notice again we're losing seams as we do this. Right click to get out. Okay, back into face mode. Just move this a little bit. There we go. Right. Now, let's have a look at this. Our edge here. Yep, that's the right edge, okay, but this is coming a bit short here. Just ending there. So I think this part's scaled a little bit too big, really. Let's have a look and get these front pieces on before we attach this. Move it up to there. Right, so these front parts here. And they are all the way over here. Break them and bring them over. Okay. Rotate this into the right place. Got to be careful with mechanical parts, whereas we can kind of do a little bit of stretching when it comes to organic stuff, and it doesn't really make too much of an issue. With mechanical parts we do have to be slightly more careful. And if you think your brain's fried, trust me, mine's more fried. Right, target welding. Okay, and that leaves that seam there. I'm not going to connect it because it's unfolded. That's the whole point of this. Okay, now over here. Looking at the faces. Looks like we're missing a piece over here at the minute. I was wondering. I'll just turn off my map scene display here. So we've got that one and that one, but we don't have this one here. So let's go and find it. There it is. And bring it down. Then spin it. Okay. Now let's see where this one connects to. There. And there. So what I'm going to do is go to target weld. Vert mode. It's any consolation, this is one of the slightly more complicated pieces. Okay, select by edge. Okay. So this is going to connect onto that as well. So I'm going to need a target weld on it. There we go. This creates that very minor seam here, which I'm going to bring out a little bit. There we are. Now over here I can connect these ones together. Like so. The edge select and select this one. We can see it goes down to the corner of this one, so this is a bit long. So what I'm going to do is select all these faces and just scale them down just a little bit. Just on all axes. Doesn't need to be much. There we go, that should do it. Okay, let's show map seams again. And just weld these together. Okay, pull back. Now then, this part here must be the rear of it. Yep, looks like it. It looks like it's all one massive piece as well. So what I'm going to do, completely ignore those bits. I'm just going to select all these inside polygons on this. Just turn off my map seams. Incidentally, I've been informed that Polygon Cruncher is now part of the new 3dsmax system, so you don't even have to pay for it with the latest version of 3dsmax. So isn't that good news? Okay, tools break. Bring this down. So thanks. Autodesk. Put that over to there, and this over to here. Start sewing these together. There's probably a hole in this somewhere. Try and find out where. Right, there's one here. And my guess is this is the hole that it should be in. So why it's not there at the minute is anybody's guess. Easiest way to get it in there is going to be to use vertex and target welds. There we go. Trust me, doing it like this though is more often than not a lot easier than doing it the other way. Okay, let's select this one. Oh look, this appears to be at the very top in this triangle here, or somewhere like it. That one goes there, and then this one goes above it. Alright. So, vert mode, target weld again. It's very complicated kind of putting Lego together, where you don't really have much of a picture, and all the Lego changes shape a lot. There we go. Pull that one a bit further this way. There is no auto unwrap for 3dsmax. Don't get your hopes up. Okay, this one looks like it goes in that hole there. Yep, it does. It goes in that hole there. So again, vert. Don't know why it's done it this way. Tools, target weld. And there. Okay, zoom out. And face. Spin it. I suppose it's so incredibly inherently human, or, you know, at least moderately intelligent to be able to kind of do this kind of puzzle, that even though the unwrap seems, in our heads, moderately simple, it's an impossible task to something like 3dsmax. I mean, eventually someone will come out with an awesome plugin that will basically render our jobs completely pointless, so let's hope they don't. But for the moment, this is one of those jobs where you're going to sit with a cup of tea and take your time, because there's not a lot else you can do. Right, this part here, let's have a look. I know what it is. It's this one. Let's make sure we've got all of it. Not that bit. Okay, yep, looks like I have. So, what I'm going to do is put this piece in here. Just need to scale it just a tiny bit. There's a small border around the outside. That way we can tell it's a separate piece and it makes our texturing job a tiny bit easier. There we go. Let autosave do its thing. Right, we've got a piece over here. What is it? It's this piece here, which probably goes here. Let's bring it down. And do edge select. It's like a border for the bottom, doesn't it? Top, bottom, side. Top, top. So it goes under here. Go into vertex mode and target weld. Before I do this, hang on. Make sure it goes all the way across. No, it only goes halfway, just as well I checked. Okay, vert mode, tools, target weld. There. There. Okay, that's the bottom part over there, by the way. Bring it over. Face mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that bit's there. That bit isn't. Go around the edge a little bit. Make sure we've got the hole at the bottom. Piece missing just here, look. There it is. Okay, so we can see how this fits on now. Let's break and rotate it. Okay. Rotate this a little bit more so it starts to line up properly. And vert mode. Right, let's find out where this edge here is. There it is. Is it this edge? Yes, it is. So, target welding. Now here. And then here. Okay, and that brings this quite nicely unfolded so far, piece. Now we've got these side parts here, and basically all these parts are the remaining. Well, there's this piece here for a start. Let's bring it down. I think you can kind of see how that's going to fit on. Okay, pull back. Now, over here. Let's take these parts around it. There we are, and that's all these remaining parts here, more or less. Got this one here, however. Let's see what that is. Right, that goes next to here. Let's bring it down. And I'm just going to turn this around. Okay. Do a bit of target welding. There we go. Now these fellows here. Trick is to find what the top and the bottom ones are. So, got this one here, which is there. And that one should be right next to it there. See, so these can actually fit right next to each other. Get them in close. There we go. Yeah, Yes, that wasn't a brilliant plan, unfortunately. Just getting closer and target weld them instead. Okay, pull back. These two can weld together, and these ones. And now, if I just bring these down a little bit, I can straighten everything. First of all, I'll straighten them on this axis here, and then this axis here. Keep forgetting you can only do one at a time. There we go, just straighten it out a little bit. Right, now what I'm going to do is lay it across here, so it's out of the way. Okay, and we can see what the piece is fairly easily. It's readily identifiable. We can also save our UVs for the moment if we want. And let's see. New folder, UVs. UVs 1, that way I can reload them if I need to. Okay, so that's one set of UVs done. Exit isolation mode. Now we can do this front toe here. So we load up edit again, and you'll notice we've got a completely different set over here. Now this one should be a lot quicker. Right, so doing this toe, let's isolate it, just like we did last time. Pull up our edit parameters, and we're going to start on the top. Now this should be pretty easy, considering you've just done the last one. And that last toe wasn't especially the easiest one to do in the world. Put this edge in as well. Get back there, silly blooming zoom thing. Okay, let's just turn this round. Now you can see there's a polygon obviously not selected. I'm going to put on my map seam so I can see where 3dsmax has decided I should have my seams. There we are. Notice I'm not going to zoom it up in size or anything. Right, now down here, I'm going to ignore some of this map seam. So, tools, break. And then I'm going to bring this down to here. And start fixing them together. Right. Where the hell am I? Oh yeah, tools. Target weld. And just close these seams up. This one can be closed too. But I think I'll bring this one down a little bit. Like so. Okay. Now, got this polygon here. Let's bring it down. And what I'm going to do is just pop it on here. Like so. And let's have a look at this face here. We can probably squeeze that one in as well. Tools, break. Right, so vertex. Okay, just making sure that the vertex is the right one before I go into this. target weld it. There we go. There, and that just kind of straightens up the side a bit. Now then, up here we're going to stick this on, so it's still a target weld, am I? Yeah, it was. Right, rotate this and bring it across. As you can see, it's a little bit wobbly, but it's going to fit okay. Just adjust the angle a bit more. Ideally try and get it nice and flat. Okay, going to target weld. If you only use one tool this summer, make it target weld from 3dsmax. There we go, see, that's cut down another seam. Now around this side, there's another one of our edges. Turn that over. Let's find out which vert this one is. Right, so that's the bottom, in fact. So what's probably going to be best here is doing that in a moment. Let's move this out of the way. Right, so I'm going to attach this part instead. Just over here. Just rotate it. And start slotting it into the right place. Okay. Go to vert mode. And go to target weld. There we go. Just straighten this out a little bit. Now we've got this nice piece at the back here. Let's go to edge mode and turn off our map seams. Just trying to think the best way of doing this actually with the bottom of the foot. I think probably what I'll do is turn on its side and just not have it connected to the rest of it at all, and then reduce it in size a little bit. Okay, that makes this part. Now what's this one? This is the back of the foot. Now I'm going to turn this around and then walk it over here. Move this over a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to attach these two together. Quickly rotate it so it's lined up nicely. Okay, go into vert mode and do a target weld. There we go, and that's another piece done. So let's just save our UVs. I think we'll use a father-son method, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That way we've always got a decent backup. Exit isolation mode. And I believe save's doing its thing at the moment. So now if we look at this one and edit. Ooh, there's a couple of loose pieces over here. Let's go back and do this one again. So what's this? Oh dear. Hate it when you get these pieces left over like that. Bring them down. That is the bottom of this edge here. Although it could also be the top if I wanted it to be. Let's find out. There and there are the same. Okay, so I'll just quickly grab all these. Whilst deselecting this one by the looks of things. Okay, bring that up to that. Check my edge, that one, that one. So that one and that one are the same. I'll just turn these around then. And do vert, target weld. Okay, now over here. I'm going to edge mode. So this and those are pretty much the same. Okay, so turn this over. And go to vertex, tools, target weld. Right, face mode. There's that one and that one. Right, so this one's not in the right place. That's easy enough to fix. Tools, break. And then over to there. Vert mode, tools, target weld. And then just move this one. There. And that part's now in the right place. Turn that off. And now if I select this one and click edit, you'll see we now have two parts completely tidily edited together. So what I'm going to do now, straighten them up. And start putting them packed nicely together. Like so. And tidily move them up into this top corner. Okay, file, save, UVs, UVs 3. Because it never hurts to save your UVs. Okay, turn that off, go back here. Okay, next part we're going to do is this one. To isolate it. And edit. Not many pieces to this one. So that's the top. Just turn it over. Turn this one over as well. Okay, and turn it around, have this one and this one. Should be over here, I think. Let's move it down to about there. It's the back. Like so. And of course it's the bottom. Right, let's get all these straightened a little bit, nice and tidy. Autosave. It's a little bit less, there we are. Right, target welding. Okay, now, right click out. That corner there is probably the same as that corner there. It is. So, easy way just to do this then. Turn it. And then just do a quick target weld. Yeah, exit isolation mode. Now we select the 3 toes together. Edit. Okay. Optimization of space, massively important. There we go, so they're all tidily away in this corner now. Okay, so next part we're going to do the foot, I think. Till then, see you in the next bit. Bye for now.